Good morning, good morning. So, this actually finished like an hour on the treadmill, which was cool. Getting back to that, like, somewhat level of fitness. Let me turn this down. Just need some airflow in here. But, yeah, getting back to that level of fitness is pretty cool. So, I did that at like 2.5 speed, so that's like, or 2.5 miles an hour. So that was actually pretty cool. I was talking with Brother Ed, and a lot of stuff is like going on, right? Like, you know, brothers in terms of like how they feel about the space, what's going on. Like, you know, Grinch talking about, like, you know, he pretty much privated, like, you know, I was watching this shit and he's privating and unlisting all his fucking videos and shit. I'm like, damn it, what shall quench my thirst for content? And he fucking sends me GMT or what's it called? Yeah, GMT's channel and doxing Cynthia G and shit. And it's just like, I can't really watch that stuff. It's just not what I'm about. And it's kind of what I want to talk about here too, is courting chaos. I made a post, and I've been meaning to make this for like a couple days now. I just haven't felt the right energy. But I haven't really felt right to do it. But courting chaos. I've talked about this before, how like I do everything to protect my peace, and one of the things I do is not court chaos. Meaning, like, you know, how you just court somebody, try to get them on your side, be around them, talk good and sweet nothings into their ear, blah blah blah. Like, I'm just not really into that. I don't want to be a part of that, and I don't want to do things like that any longer in my life. And I've never been a person really that does that, you know. Like, sometimes I really want to go off. One thing I dislike about myself, but also has kept me out of a lot of trouble, I'm not hot-headed. I don't strike first and then, you know, shoot first and then ask questions later, you know. Like, I'll be the one that fucking gets shot, ask why, and then get real mad about it, and then be like, I'm a bust back, and then I just, like, don't do it, because it's like, if I do that, I'm gonna lose X, Y, and Z, and I think about it, right, or overthink, so to speak. And I've never really been that person to do anything like that. I'm not really into that. I'm not really hot-headed. I will also say that in certain circumstances, I am not a quick thinker either. You know, when you're on panels or talking about certain things, I'll think about the best fucking responses after I get off a fucking panel. It's just like, shit, I could have had that nigga. You know, shit like that. But courting chaos. I made a post the other day in my community tab about this guy Gino, right? And, you know, two sides of it. One, I would even I reposted it, but I wanted to take the guy's name out of it, right? And I didn't want to post that because it would be me courting chaos. And it's not so much being afraid of somebody to do something to you, but really it's just like, okay, what type of energy am I bringing by posting this thing out there or putting this information out there, right? Like, not how would I be looked at, but then what would I receive in return? Because I would just get the heat and smoke, and they're probably trying to do something. They could possibly try to do something to me now, because now, you know, Grinch, you know, went off the deep end, so to speak, because of, you know, they doxed Mad Bus Driver, and I understand where he's coming from, right? And when I say go off the deep end, I don't mean in a bad way. I'm like just lost it, like, in terms of, like, you privated all this stuff and so on and so forth. And I understand it, and it makes fucking sense, because Mad Bus Driver X, of all people, getting doxed is fucking insane. That's like a person that cancels people getting canceled type shit. Like, you know, well, no, it's not the same. that's way off. That's like you canceling your grandma. Like, Mima does nothing to nobody. She has her opinions about what you do and how you're a fucking slut, but Mima does not fucking, like, deserve that type of smoke. You know what I mean? Like, that shit is crazy that Mad Bus Driver X, of all fucking people, to get fucking doxed. And, you know, Ed and I were talking, and we were talking about remote work and some of the things that I do and how I'm able to do it at the level that I'm doing it. And I showed him a little bit of my setup. And he was like, man, you can make a really good following if you start doing stuff like that and putting that information out and all this other stuff. And I said, listen, with everything that's going on, this is earlier today, or earlier on in the day, Monday. Now it's Tuesday, but this is early on in the day. And I said, bro, with all the shit that people are doing and how they're actually reacting to others in this space, I'm not going to jeopardize how much money I make and what I do and the people I do it for, and jeopardize a good thing just to really show these people. Like, I'm not gonna make that sacrifice. Now, you hear me say one or two things every so often. I've done enough, and I've put myself out there saying, hey, listen, you guys can reach out to me if you ever need anything. I'm here to help you, so on and so forth, right? I've done more than enough in that case. I've done streams talking about how to get jobs, what you should do, so on and so forth. I've done all that shit. And I'm not going to be sitting here really getting into it, possibly divulging information that I don't need to divulge, just so I can be fucking doxxed at some point in my YouTube career, so to speak, or time on YouTube, where I'm here to help out people like my nephew and and other people that listen to me, like, you know, some of my former student athletes, so on and so forth, just for a motherfucker to dox you and you don't really do shit. Even with all the talk of SYSBM, SYCM, SYCBM or something like that, yeah, Save Your Community Black Man, like, even with all that shit going back and forth with fucking Alan Obi and all this other shit, bro, you never really saw Mad Bus Driver do what he would be well within his right to do, being the person that is, you know, the founder, creator of the term and the ideology, the movement, right? Like, yeah, one of the founders and all. It's like, is that a rat? That's a damn rat. Oh, no, it's a bird. He would be well within his right to defend his intellectual properties, his movement, his ideology. And I rarely saw anything from him. Mum's the word, silence. It's like, yo, people are going after people that are just not fighting back at this point. People that didn't even do anything to them, that I know of. And even if they did, like, I won't even trivialize it. But it's just like, yo, when does this shit become like such an entertainment piece? Like, oh, I can't even watch a GMT stream. And I know he's actually come on my stream, maybe watches my videos, especially after, like, the post I made. But I can't even watch a stream like that because it is juxtaposed, just the opposite, the antithesis, just fucking diametrically opposed to what I fucking talk about, preach, so to speak, right? Like, I can't really sit there and watch this shit because it's like, why is he doing this? And we've talked about this multiple times in this space in some of my videos. Like, you just don't think the way that some people think, and then it just baffles you how people, like, really react and, you know, do one or two things where you're just like, well, why would you do that? Like, that seems so weird and abnormal. But for them, it's like totally fine. They can go ahead and do that. They are well within their right to do it, or sorry, they feel that they're well within their right mind to do it, and this is normal. There's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing to see here. This person is working as programmed. And, like, that shit really kind of gets me, because I'm, like, sitting here, you know, thinking, well, I was at the time when I was talking about it, I was on the treadmill, but I'm walking, thinking about this shit, and it just, you know, you start to just take up brain cycles, and it's like, how? Like, you just keep on asking yourself that question. How could somebody want to continuously court chaos? How could somebody think that it'd be okay to dox somebody and then, quote unquote, get away with it? Nothing happens to them. They'll never be touched. They'll never be, karma will never come back to get them in any way, shape, or form. No matter what perceived mental illness or abnormality that person may have, how could they really think, how can anybody else really think that they wouldn't be quote-unquote touched? They wouldn't be looked at, inspected, or investigated, or that same light or that mirror be shined on them, pointed to them. We're living in an era where people will court chaos for some type of fame, some type of gain in some way, shape, or form, where they will openly put themselves out there, twerk, commit crimes, do pranks, and in a sense hurt people, waste people's time, and do all types of things to really bring attention to themselves. Whereas if they were just walking and having a normal life, they wouldn't get this unnecessary, unneeded attention. They crave so much to be above others, you know, within their peer group, so to speak, or community. You know, and the community in this case would be like Black Manosphere, YouTube. They feel that they should be above all of that, or to a point where they can actually be, you know, higher than, better than everyone else, that they would court chaos. They would do everything in their power to gain attention, to philosophically shake their ass and twerk. I've been against it, you know, even when I posted that, as I said, I even talked to somebody and I said, listen, man, by me doing that, I courted chaos. I did that. I'll take responsibility for it. I did that. Anything that comes from that, I brought that on myself. And I mean, I did it for a reason, because you can't just keep on going around here and expecting that nobody's going to find out anything about you. That nobody's going to say, hey, you have a problem as well. You are a problem to other people. You need to stop. And if you don't stop, you know, charges may be brought against you. Because what you're doing is not right. You're going against someone's privacy. Their human right to actually have some form of fucking privacy. And anything that you were roasted on, or anything about you that was put out there and scrutinized, is shit that you put out there publicly. Nobody went digging for it. Nobody did all these other things and talked bad about you or anything else like that. Like, they didn't do that until you said something. I'm not sitting here totally like taking sides or nothing. And I'm not sitting here trying to play the fence and say I'm neutral. I'm not in this. But I was even listening to a video, one of the last videos that BGS put out, and how, you know, he was like, yo, we need to bail out, abort mission, as like, you know, black men. You know, you have all this shit, no voting, no fuck, no voting, no fucking. You know, you have the way that these women are acting, blatant. Nobody wants to correct them. The women don't want to correct them. Anytime, you know, even fucking Kendra G, how, you know, if you look at the difference between Kendra G and her body language and how she responds and everything else to the woman that talks about how she has like all these kids and she doesn't even know who the baby daddy is, but then how Kendra talks to the man that came up and said a lot of these women nowadays are weird, but you could see Kendra's face and how she's trying to like maintain some type of frame and not really react, but you see it come out of her. And then you see the interview of Soft Girl Life, Soft Girl Era, on Keep It 100's channel, and how that chick just really wants to be a fucking child again. She wants to be a fucking child that's in control. Like, she wants to be able to throw a temper tantrum and somebody listen and do what she says. And then she talks about, oh, well, I have to really get it out here and be in my masculine energy. And then Keep It 100 just runs down the logic and says, oh, okay, you want to be in your masculine, you don't want to be in your masculine energy. So then the man takes over your business and then doesn't take any input from you. Or says, hey, listen, I don't need that business. You making everything off of me now. Well, no, why would we do that? That's an asset. That doesn't make any sense. Why would I, and then, listen, you mean to tell me I'm not going to have any input? No, because that's masculine. This is the shit that we're dealing with. And I boil it down to these two things, because I think I want to talk about some other stuff, but I forgot what they were. I'm going to have to listen to an old voice note from a conversation I had with I'm Classic. But this boils down to two sins. Pride and gride. Pride and greed. A lot of these women are exhibiting pride. They are so greedy, and I'll get to pride, but they are so greedy that they want any and everything. They don't want to sacrifice nothing. They don't want to give up anything. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to do their part. They want everybody else to do their part. They want every other person or a man to do their part. But the woman, when it comes to them, I'm just supposed to be here sitting cute and then write your write your paperwork for a $4 million grant, which means that you don't have the skills to actually fulfill that $4 million grant. And when people talk about these $4 million grants, I'm gonna let you know something. You know how much fucking work it would take to fulfill a $4 million grant? And in most cases, you're not gonna make no $4 million fucking dollars. You'll be lucky if you make $500,000 off the fucking thing, because the amount of work that it's gonna take in terms of, okay, it's $4 million. Does that just include labor, and then finding all the people, and then of course adhering to certain things? Yo, for you to even go track down or work with a $4 million fucking grant, or work on a $4 million fucking project, shit has to already be in fucking place for you. Like, I work for companies that go after tens of millions of dollars in projects. Probably even more than that, to be very fucking honest. I think it's like, this one project we're working on is like, it has to be at least like, what's it, 6, 7, like probably 8 figures. Yeah, it has to be upwards to 8 figures. If it's like not 10 million, it's like 8. Like, the amount of money that the company I work for gets for this shit is like crazy. And we're successful, like, as a part of the team. So far successful, so far so good. And bro, when I tell you the amount of work, the amount of brain power, work that in terms of hiring other people in there, what's it called, what do they call those fucking people, man? The engineers that you have to actually to actually take on these type of contracts. This is not some, I'm just gonna write it for my boyfriend. Like, your boyfriend or your man in this case has to have a whole fucking company. And this isn't some like, I'm gonna get the job or put the job together and then I'm gonna hire the people. No, at some point you're gonna be holding the bag for that shit before you even get your first fucking few payments. And motherfuckers just think it's just gonna snap and that's gonna fucking be it. This is the shit that doesn't make any fucking sense to me. And when we talk to these fucking people and they don't fucking understand that, we fucking know this shit. We understand this. And this is where the pride comes in. Because the greed is wanting everything. But the pride is thinking that you can want everything, get it, and then also be rewarded for it. Oh, okay, hey, listen, you get to go to the gym that you want, you get everything you want, you get the ring that you want, the car that you want, all this other shit, everything's fucking provided for you, you don't have to provide anything. And then that person that is providing all of this shit, making all this shit happen, can never say no to you. Think about that. Think about how fucked that is. You mean to tell me that I'm going to provide all this shit for you, And all I get is you and your big fucking titties and a smile when I get home. I already got a cleaning lady. I cooked a great fucking pot of oxtails yesterday. Shit was fucking amazing. No, Sunday. Shit was fucking amazing. I got a trainer. Go to the gym. Go to the gym on my own. Do my walks in the morning. I'm doing all this shit for myself, man. But to really think that I'm doing this for anyone else but me, to really put myself in a female masculine mindset, meaning provide, protect, and guide her, and not in a masculine centric mindset or male centric mindset, meaning receive understanding, cooperation, and her willingness to accept guidance from me. You got me fucked up. You got brothers around here fucked up. This shit does not make any fucking sense. The way these people are fucking acting. These women, these men, these different groups that are really going against us and the shit that we're talking about. I talked about this in my previous video. We're the patch. And to be very honest, we don't have to do much of anything. When you're seeing Phil from the Advice Show coming back, you know, or African Diaspora, wherever his name is now, but I know him as Phil from the Advice Show. When you're seeing fucking Phil from the Advice Show circle back to his roots about how some of these women are whores and stuff like that, his Tommy-esque roots, because he used to really like Tommy and model himself after Tommy, after he had to deal with his BS, and has been happy, it seems, ever since, and has actually done a lot more. When you start to see stuff like that, man, from what would be considered purple pill brothers, and they're leaning more red than they are blue, the work is done. The patch has already been applied. The computer has restarted, or begun the restarting, the rebooting. Pretty soon, that motherfucker will shut completely down and start back up anew with the patch. And that's your generations that are coming after us, are the Z's and the Alphas, that already have this fucking ideology baked in because they're getting it 7 to 8 seconds at a time on fucking TikTok. They're getting Andrew Tate. They're getting fucking all these other, the Patrice O'Neals. They're getting all these other, like these, I think Bill Burr had that comedy thing the other day talking about WNBA and stuff like that. They're getting all that shit, man. Our work is already done. And what's crazy to me is that, you know, people haven't really realized it yet. But I mean, at the same time, it makes sense. But I mean, what can you do, man? Just watch it. Watch it burn. And yeah, you know, like I talk about the burning as if I won't get burned my damn self. But we look at what's going on, man. There's got to be something better than this. There's got to be better thinkers. There's got to be, you know, more intelligent people that will truly take us to another level. That will truly say, hey, man, this has to change. And that will say, I can't do this anymore. I asked this the other day, I think. I forgot what it was. I forgot if I asked. I'm just waiting, and I want to see it. When will people say enough is enough? I think I made this in a community post, but when will people say this is enough is enough? What is the breaking point going to be? Because if this ain't it, man, I don't know what to tell you, because this shit is crazy that we haven't broken yet. Like, that's just how ingrained this shit is. That motherfuckers just haven't broken yet. They think they can do more. They can go farther. And it's just wild to me, because people really think that there's more out there. There's more to this. This is it. Now, I'm saying, like, really, this is it. This government can't support it. This economic climate cannot support it. Shit, the world climate can't support the fuck shit no more. With that being said, do your best not to court chaos. Put yourself in the right position. This is something I haven't really talked about, but I liquidated the last bit of my crypto and paid down some debt, bought some TVs, and bought some other appliances and shit like that. I should have all my debt except for my truck and my house. So there'll be 2 major debts that I have left. And like, those will be the only 2 major debts that I have by the end of November, it looks like. If everything works out. By the end of November. I should only have those 2 debts. And then the truck, hopefully I can pay that off. Again, my biggest thing is hopefully pay it off by April. So that's going to be the end of the first quarter of the year of 2023. So I'm pretty much on track for that. And even with that, what I might do is extend that like a month or 2, because I want to pay off the truck as soon as possible, especially if the cars come in. And you know, like, the car says, hey, they're saying like, hey, it's available or some shit like that. I want to have the truck paid off, because then by then I could look better to get financing for the car and get that, you know, going, and then start to really pay that off too. But even before that, as I said, I want to extend that, probably take like a month, extend it by a month or 2, because then what I can do is go ahead and buy back all my positions, because of the way the market's going, and I'll still be in a good position. I can buy back all the positions I sold out of for 2022 and buy it all back in 2023 for cheaper. Wasn't totally planned like that, but that's what I'm looking to do. And then also doing a lot of stuff with credit, savings, and stuff like that. So I don't really put myself in a position to have to sell shit like that to get rid of debt quicker or do other things. Because I made that decision recently to say I don't need credit anymore. And one of the things I did is, recently I wanted to buy TVs, and I could have bought it on my credit card, and I said, fuck it. I cut up all those cards, put them in pieces, threw them around the yard, and threw them away. And now I don't really have access to swipe those cards, and I'm gonna actually move towards canceling those cards. I may keep them until the car, I'm not sure, we'll see, but I kind of want to cancel those cards and get rid of them. But the only reason I do all that is just because you can get a lower interest rate, hopefully, we'll see. But with this government, with everything that's going on, ain't nothing gonna be low, so it's just easier and cheaper to pay it all off. Those are the moves I'm making financially. That's what I've done. That's what I've talked about recently, or in the past, I should say. And really, you know, Operation Bailout, Operation No Fucking, you know, that's what I'm gonna call this shit. Operation No Fucking, or Mission No Fucking is a go. We're not fucking around with these fucking people no more, man. We haven't been for a while. And men of means have really been coming together, and they're really making a big fucking push to pull these brothers out, and letting other brothers know that you have choice. You will have to make one. You can either and you have to consciously make one. You can either keep fucking around with this shit and these people, or you can get the fuck out of it. And it ain't gonna be, though, I was just programmed to do this. No, this shit's in your face now. You will be making a fucking choice. A fucking choice. With that being said, I love you all. Peace. Be safe. Put yourself in the right position. Put yourself in the right mindset. Do what's necessary to prolong your life, to prolong your position. And if you're not going to invest in a woman and a family to help you on in your later years, invest in your investments, because something going to have to be there. And if it ain't a person beside you, make sure it's make sure it's money that provides that person beside you, that nurse, so to speak. All right, with that being said, I love you all. Peace.